What a beautiful October day. Here is an update on Lisa's van. This is the little red with the rear bath. Look at that armoire. That is teak combined with the aluminum of 80/20 with a massive shower pan that will be teak. And here's the shower side. This is a nice big shower dressing room area. Got a little shelf down there for the faucet controls and the shampoos and the cream rinse. That's right, I still use cream rinse. So look at this armoire. How beautiful is this? Look at that grain right down the line, and it's going to continue across the shower floor. This is an infinity floor, stepless. The entire van is a stepless floor for Lisa. So here you get a better idea of what all those angles and flaps and bumps were. This is Lisa's armoire going in the back of the van in the bathroom. Look at the beautiful cabinetry work going on in the back of this armoire. Now, why is that like that, you ask? I'm going to show you. Remember, I used to tell you to let the van speak to you. Well, we utilize every square available inch. Right here is one of those wall supports. So a structural wall support goes right there, but then we can regain all that depth. And you're going to need that depth because a hanger is a certain length or width, front to back. It's got to fit in the cabinet. We need that room. Our hanger is going to be here. Obviously, the pole, the hanging crossbars up here, but you're not going to be able to fit a hanger here. So all the hangers are on this side, and then you could hang one of those shoe racks right here. So we've utilized every square inch for storage. That's a beautiful thing. And that's going right here, right on that elevated floor right there. So you can see what I'm talking about here. See this jog right here across that support? That's what we had to fly past, and then we gained back all this depth. You can't ignore that. You got to work with it. So this is her hanging closet, and the bar will be up here, and then from here over we'll be hanging clothes because we need the depth for the hanger, right? Over here, this bump out is covering a frame member on the rear of the van, but we were able to bust back into that space. So here she'll have a shoe rack that hangs off the rod. So she'll have her shoe rack here. It doesn't have to have shoes in it. I roll up my t-shirts and sweatshirts and put them in those cubbies. Gorgeous, gorgeous teak. Soft clothes. And we're going to have the electromagnets. She's got two huge clothing drawers back here. This one is full and deep. I think we might put a sliding tray in here so she could put some stuff. But here's the surprise. Remember I said we use every bit of space and we let the van speak to us? Well, this drawer goes over the wheel well. So, you know, a lot of people just notch it and they have an L-shaped drawer. Well, we took it one little step further. It's an L-shaped drawer with a little jewelry cubby. Why not? Why not fill it in? Everybody else goes this way, and this way. We made the full box drawer, then we cut it short and put the tray in. Make use of that space. So now it's almost like a full drawer with a little jewelry cubby. Isn't that nice? Again, soft clothes, and they will be electromagnetically locked during travel. And don't talk to me about that travel jazz, because what we're going to do with these electromagnets, if you need to get in the drawer after you started the engine, which I think is just ridiculous, but it could happen, we'll have a momentary contact button right here. You hold the button, you open the drawer, you let go of the button. Okay, do your business, close the drawer, it locks again. So that's that. Here is our galley. You saw a video on this 2 weeks ago. Here's our hanging water tank, hot water heater over the water tank. There's a bank of drawers here. There's another big drawer here under the sink. Now next week, we're gonna work on a nice little set back here with cubbies for olive oil and whatnot, and a little avocado shelf. You have to remember, this is not a full-size Ford Transit. This is called a medium roof, okay? So now we're working on our feature wall. This is a twin bed model, okay? All of my EcoFlow batteries and electrics are in that compartment. This is gonna be a giant drawer for clothing and kitty stuff and doggy stuff. And then behind that drawer will be my Webasto heater. And then I can have one duct here, another duct down the other end. So we'll be heating both ends of the van simultaneously. And then of course, this is an opening bed, so we can work on all of our battery components. And look at this jam. Look at this beautiful jam that Ron made. The last edge banding on the window jamb. Laminated with teak. It's gonna be a little piece of furniture. How nice is this? Originally, we were just gonna do a regular jamb and cover it with the wall. And then we looked at it and said, wait a minute. If we dress this thing up, it's gonna be a real showpiece, a showstopper, a furniture piece. So now this jamb is going to poke through the cutout in the wall. And we put a little shelf back here. Now, obviously, it's not done. It's not finished. We need to put a little black return wall back there, black lamb. And then we'll put a protective drawer base in here. So then at night, Lisa could put her water, her book, her watch, all that phone, right? That sets in the wall. Over here, this is another one of those beams I'm talking about that was over there in the armoire. You can see how we bumped that armoire past the beam and we took up that space that's in the van wall. Well, we're going to do the same thing right here. This is too much space to ignore and to let go to waste. So there will be a cutout here and there'll be a couple of shelves in a recessed cubby right there. And if I have to, I can pull that recessed cubby out and run wires. That's one of the reasons it's there. And then up top here, something very cool and interesting. Instead of a wall cabinet, because we don't have the ceiling height to do so over the bed, we put in a tray. This is basically just a shelf. It's a wall cabinet without the sides or the front. Now, obviously, we're going to put a floor in it, right? So you can put stuff up here. So look, it's going to be towels, sweatshirts, maybe a little basket of gloves and socks. Nothing too heavy, but it's still a good utilization of the space. And we're going to dress it up even further. We're going to put teak stretchers inside those channels, and we're going to run bungee cord back and forth through that front teak stretcher all the way down the line. So anything could get pushed in and stay up on this shelf. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to get this finished. It's going to run right into the refrigerator box, which is right here. Now, I saved the best for last. Look at this pantry. At the end of the galley is this gorgeous pantry. Look at this. Look at what a beautiful job John did. Amazing. All of the galley is in glossy white laminate. And that detail of shortcutting these panels in setting teak inside that little gap, it just brings all the teak from inside, from the back of the van to the front. Now, this is not your typical pantry. A typical pantry, you would be at the galley, you'd have a handle here, and you would pull the pantry out and take what you want from the shelves. We did something a little different. The shelves stay put, and you just open the door on the side. So now you can take things from the pantry and put them right on the counter. Now, obviously, we aren't finished. We have to put a shelf here, and we made use of another little cubby up there. And this is going to, again, soft close. This is going to hide behind that little avocado shelf. So this is going to pass right behind the avocado shelf. You won't see this hack here. It'll just look full. Isn't that cool? I love this idea. This is a lot of fun. And again, it was a bit of engineering because if you have to know, there are drawer glides in this space here, and they've been hidden by that little flange. Look at that little flange of teak. See that? There's our 2 drawer glides, and we buried them behind this little bit of teak. And that's how that works. And that's why this is what it is. But we took it a step further and made it beautiful. I love this pantry. Isn't that nice? So that's it this week for Lisa's van. So I know you've seen Barry here in the shop. He comes in 1 or 2 days a week and he cleans up over in the tool room. This is his van. This is a Winnebago Revel. And from time to time, in exchange for Barry coming in to clean up the shop, we do these little mods to his Revel. And it's a nice, fair sense of exchange. We love having Barry in the shop. He's one of us now. He's family. And when he comes in, you remember on Cheers, whenever Norm came in, everybody'd yell, "Norm!" Well, that's what we do with Barry. He was coming in and we'd all yell, "Barry!" But now we call him Norm. So this was one of the things we did for him. If you remember, we built this little storage box. He has a nice cushion, massive storage back here. And then it becomes his bench with a lagoon table on the end. And it's kind of like a little dining area. And then we also put in this access as well down the back. Now, what we're going to do now that he's in the shop, over here is the Revel water tank, fresh water tank. So we're going to pull that out, and Barry bought the big one. I don't know the name of the company, but they have a really large freshwater tank. So we're going to swap out the little one for the big one. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this apart and take a look at his batteries. He does have Lithionics lithium batteries, but I think he's only got 2 130 amp hour 12 volt. So I'm going to see if I can't squeeze in a 320. Still 12 volt, but the 320 that I put in my mini-me's. Maybe we could get that in there and pull these 130s out. And then maybe I'll put those in my camper. But now there's one other thing going on this week. Yes, I had a little bug. I had a bug I couldn't shake. It took me months to get over it, and I finally got over it. This is a 1980 MGB. This is the last year MGs were ever made. This is a limited edition. They did make over 500,000 MGs in the life of their company. Really what ruined them was United States regulations. That's where these rubber bumpers came in. So my opinion, if you're going to get a rubber bumper car, it should be a black one because it kind of ties into the bumpers and you don't see them so much. But anyway, they made this 6,000 or so of these limited edition MGBs to commemorate the end of the company. So I grabbed one of these. There is a reason behind my madness. My first MG I bought when I was 18 years old. And June and I have been together since we're 16 years old. So I bought that MG when I was 18 years old. I traded in my grandmother's Cadillac. I don't know how I did that because it was in her name, but I did. And so June and I bopped around in that little blue MG for a few years. That was our primary car. Well, that was 50 years ago. June and I are 68. So this car commemorates 50 years. It's kind of my version of renewing our vows. How do you like that for a rationale? I can come up with it, that's for sure. So this is our third MG. We had the little blue one when we were 18. I had a red one that I totally restored when I was in my 30s and 40s. I used to drive the kids to school in it. And now, 50 years later, I've got another one. This one looks pretty damn good. It looks better than I did at 40. So I got it all polished up, and we're gonna enjoy this little guy next spring. I'm gonna keep it here in the shop, and all winter long, I'm gonna work on it over in this corner. What do I need? Do I need brakes? Do I need a gas tank? Do I need to fix the suspension? I'll do it all right here. I might even shoot some video, because let's face it, MGs are really cool. So that's it for this week. See you next week.